everybody, Jess or MTV's The Challenge Free Agents. Catch me on Instagram and Twitter at MTVJess or Thursday nights at 10 p.m. But for now, you're listening to Ace's recap of last week's episode. Enjoy!
Hey y'all, hey, what's up? Ace here for your episode 3, The Challenge Free Agents recap. Today I'm drinking something a little bit different. It's a Diet Coke because I'm hungover and I can't start drinking again yet because I'm scared. First, I want to give a huge shout out to the very first person on the challenge who's made me an intro. You guys just saw that from Jessica. She's awesome. I want everybody to go down to the description and follow her on both of her Twitter accounts and as well as her Instagram account. Everybody go down there and do that. If you don't, I'm watching you. No, but really, thanks so much, Jessica. Maybe now that you've made one, now people will be like, I want to make one too, and I want to make one. And I'm gonna be like, I don't want you to. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody can make one, literally. So episode 3 starts off with Nani on her knees. Don't be dirty. She was just proposing to Cohutta. These two are adorable. He thinks that she smells like wild honeysuckle blossoms. I think now Cohutta needs to make a scent. He needs to make a perfume, or what do they call it for men? A cologne, a cologne, that is called wild honeysuckle blossoms, y'all. Now the boys decide that they need to have a bachelor party because, well, Cohutta's getting fake married. So thank you, Cohutta, for getting fake married. Now we get to have people get naked and dance for us. Well, almost naked. It was Jasmine, and she showed up in her Hit Me Baby One More Time Britney Spears schoolgirl outfit, and she takes it to the pole for some dancing. And the dudes are thoroughly enjoying themselves. The girls decide to crash the party until the guys kick them out and tell them to go have their own bachelorette party. So that's what they do, and they enlist Johnny, not Bananas, as their stripping entertainment for the night. They're calling him Magic Johnny. He's all up on Nani in his underpants. He's doing the whole I'm a dude stripper thing, and then him and Nani are like making out like, huh? She just got married to Cohutta. That didn't take long. Nani. Moving on, Frank is really sick. He went to the doctor. His lungs are not looking good. He's sick and he's crying and he's talking on the phone about how he doesn't know if he should just go home because he's so sick and he can't get over it, or if he should just stay and try to wait it out, but he really wants to stay, so that's what he's gonna do. So moving on to the next day, to the challenge. Before the challenge gets started, TJ goes up and he actually has to tell Frank that he talked to the challenge doctor. Let's pause for a second. The challenge doctor, that's hilarious. And he said that Frank has a viral infection and that he has to go home because he's super duper contagious. And at that moment where TJ's like, you have a viral infection and you are contagious, Johnny's standing right next to Frank, and all of a sudden you see Johnny like take steps away from the contagiousness.
I've talked to the challenge doctor and they said that you have a viral infection. What? They said that you're very contagious. What?
So Frank has to go home because he can't be in the house around everybody else. And man, this has been the shittiest start of a challenge for Frank ever, even though it was kind of bad and kind of good because he kept getting thrown the kill card and he kept having to go in and prove himself, and he kept winning, so that was awesome. So he's pretty much undefeated, and now has to go home. But it's just it's like a shit-filled basket, you guys, for Frank this season. Sucks, man. I'm sad to see you go home so early, but I'm sure everybody in the house is kind of happy to see you go home because you're a good competitor and now they don't have to go up against you. We'll see you next time, Frank. So the challenge is called Bar Crawl, and they're not crawling around bars drinking. That's what I did last night. The whole group is set up into teams of 4, and they each have to stand on opposite sides of this wall hanging in the air, freaking hundreds of feet above the water, and 2 of them on each side. They have to move these pegs back and forth to each other through these little holes so that they can all stand. It's a game of balance and stand and move until they get to the next platform, and whoever does that fastest wins. I can never explain these things correctly. Anyway, Team Cara Maria goes first, and that's Cara Maria, CT, Swift, and Anissa. They're going so slow. You guys. It was a little painful to watch like how slow they were going. It always sucks for the first team to go like do a challenge because you don't get to like see and evaluate like how other people are doing it and be like, oh, that's a good idea, but that's not such a good idea. You have to kind of make it up on your own, and that's what they were trying to do. But they took too long, the time ran out, and whatever, they didn't do well. But I love the joke Cara Maria made while CT was standing behind her all up on the wall.
I think every girl in America is jealous of me right now.
And then CT starts grinding and he's like, yeah, they jealous. That's my grind. It's not what a grind is. Next was Team Brandon. That was Brandon, Jessica, Bananas, and Camilla. They killed it and did amazing, and they went across it pretty damn fast. I think it was Jessica's socks that did the trick, you guys. Magic rainbow striped socks. They'll get you across anything. Team Latoya goes next, and it was Kahada, Latoya, Preston, and Nani. I love Kahada before the challenge even started talking about what the actual challenge is.
I can do this with a tool belt on and a piece of plywood in my hand, and it would be Tuesday.
And I love Nani taking over during the challenge, and she's like doing the guy part, and Preston's like up against the wall like Their team made it across and did fabulous. Team Zach goes next, and it's Zach, Johnny Not Bananas, Teresa, and Devin. Zach decides that he wants to do a different strategy and try to put the pegs 3 pegs apart instead of 2 like everybody else was doing, because he's so damn long that he could just like jump from one thing to the other thing. But he didn't take into account that Johnny is not that long, and so when they tried to do this, Johnny was like, I can't reach anything, so he couldn't get anywhere with that. Team Jasmine is up next, and they only have 3 teammates on their team. They don't have 4 because Frank got sent home and he was extra person in the house, and now he fucked up all the numbers. Jasmine, Johnny, and Jordan on Team Jasmine, and that's 3 J's. Let's call them Team J3. So Jordan's up there on one side by himself, and he's like, I got this by myself. And then the girls are on the other side helping each other out together, and he is doing great alone, and everybody's like, look at him, he could just do everything by himself. Oh, it's awesome. And then he drops the peg, and they get disqualified. Now he's punching the fucking wall, and he's punching himself in the head. He's so angry. Jordan does not do things wrong. Jordan does not fuck things up. The funniest thing about this team and them being disqualified is at the beginning of the challenge, TJ actually told them that they could sit this challenge out because they didn't have enough players. Also, if they sat it out, they wouldn't be disqualified, but they also wouldn't win, so they wanted to go for it, and I don't think they should have gone for it. But Jordan, he could do anything. Leroy, Isaac, Laurel, and Naya were the next team to go, and Laurel took on the guy's role of this challenge, and she was working it, and I guess she was talking about doing so well, and then Anissa's down at the bottom watching them perform, and she's like, I hate when people are so full of themselves, blah blah blah. Well, if you do good all the time, then you should just be able to talk about doing good all the time, right? No? Well, that's what Jordan did, and then we saw what happened to him, but that hasn't happened to Laurel yet. So Team Cara Maria and Team Jasmine are the 2 losing teams of this challenge, and the winning team was Team Brandon, who now has to decide who's gonna go into the elimination. During deliberation, Camilla wants to go talk to some of the girls that she's not so close with in the house, because she wants to know who's gonna do what for her when it's her time to go in, if they're gonna stand up for her or not, because she's not keeping anybody around that's not gonna have her back. We all know how this works out, right? People are like, yeah, I'm gonna have your back, until like it's time to have your back, and then they're like, I'm not so sure about that anymore, so I'm just gonna send you in. She talks to Naya. Naya's like, I'm totally gonna have your back, girl. I would never not have your back. And then she talks to Latoya, and Latoya's like, listen, do not think that what Naya is telling you is the truth, because she's not going to do it. You saw what she did to me. That's how she looked too. This is how she looked. Anyway, during the vote, they all vote in Johnny, and they want his rookie ass to go into the elimination and show them what he's made of. Alright. Then they all wind up voting in Naya for the same reason. Kids are running outside of my window. Beautiful background noise. And someone sneezing. When you die, nothing happens. Atheist roommate. Moving on to my favorite part of the challenge, the draw, where you never know what the fuck is going to happen, and it's always fun. Jasmine's standing up there looking like she's about to have a straight up panic attack because she has to pull this card, okay? So let's see who gets killed off this week. Jasmine, no kill. CT, no kill. Johnny, no kill. Swift, no kill. Anissa, no kill. Cara Maria. Uh-oh, Cara Maria. Ay. Guys, that song can pretty much work with anybody else's name and Cara Maria. I think I'm gonna use it for like all of the seasons. It's just the Cara Maria song. People know it, people love it, and I can't stop singing it. So, but this time it's not such a good song to sing because Cara Maria kill. So now it's time for Jordan to pick out of 2 cards. One might be a kill card, but the other one's not going to be a kill card. And the reason that that's happening, again, is because Frank had to get sent home because of his sick ass. So there's a chance that there'll be no guys elimination at all, which would be awesome because then both of them would get to stay and nobody would have to compete, and you know, that's cool. But that's if Jordan doesn't pick a kill card. Now remember, Jordan's good at everything, so he walks up and he grabs it, and he's just like so confident, and no kill. So him and Johnny are back in the game. Lucky shits. So for this elimination, it was really intense, also very, very boring to watch. It was a tug of war, basically, with humans, with ropes attached to their backs, and then they were gonna run in opposite directions and around these two poles and try to get to a bell on either side. They're also playing in the sand. Why? Because they're always playing in the sand. Why? Because sand sucks. So you can imagine what happens when they first start this challenge. They both run really, really, really fast and then yank! Get the wind knocked out of them, and now they're both digging down in the sand on opposite sides, just pulling, trying to get the other person tired enough to give up, basically, and so they can ring the bell. So what do? We just sit there and we watch them scream in the sand for about 75 minutes. Thank God we didn't actually have to watch that like the rest of the people that were actually there that had to stand there for 75 minutes and watch them scream in the sand. I would have been like, can I go back to the house now? When is this over with? I love that Johnny is the only one cheering on Naya. Nobody else is. Everybody's cheering on Cara Maria, and he's doing it in spite of Cara Maria because they don't get along, right? So he's like, yeah, Naya, she's giving up. She's got no more go in her, whatever the fuck he's saying. And that just feeds her fire, and she pulls it out. Naya gets tired finally, and Cara Maria wins and rings that bell, and everybody was so happy. It was almost like Cara Maria won $300 million. Like, everybody was so stoked that she won this challenge. And I mean, yeah, it was a great challenge, but like, really, what? Nothing happened. Like, we just had to watch them be like forever, okay? That's all that happened. So, I don't know. This episode kind of, maybe it's just me and I'm so depleted today that this episode was just boring, but it was kind of just boring. Was it boring for you? Tell me down in the comments. We're gonna have some weeks that are boring, obviously. Fun shit can't happen all of the time. We did have a wedding and a bachelor and bachelorette party in this episode though, so that was cool. Is anybody sad that Naya's going home? Bye bye Naya! So it looks like that's it for this week's recap of the Challenge Free Agents, and yeah, tell me your favorite part down in the comments, and make sure to go and follow Jessica on all of her social networks, y'all. That's also down in the description where you can find all that stuff. Share this video with a friend who loves the challenge, and make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already so you don't miss the next one, and I'll see you guys next week for episode 4 recap of the Challenge Free Agents. Peace out. I love this part, guys. It's like we're shooting people off. Teresa, no kill. CT, no kill. Cara Maria, no kill. Swift, no kill. Emily, kill. Johnny, no kill. Frank, kill again. Poor Frank. I want to give Frank a hug.